Hello everyone, this is Ritik Sana. I'm from AcetheCLAT and I help students achieve their academic potential at this examination. Let's, through the use of this video, understand how do you use options or the answer choices that are given to you to your advantage. Okay, they are more helpful than you think. Okay, the option choices now are much more helpful than you think, and essentially it solves 75% of the problem and in a way 100% of the problem, because we are mainly talking about wrong option choices in this video. One option in every MCQ based question. CLAT, for your information, has 150 MCQ based questions. All the questions are MCQ based, right? Only one question out of the given 4 choices, only one choice is correct. Let's assume in this case B, and the rest 75% of the options are incorrect. Even if we are able to determine that 2 options incorrect हैं, then we have a good 50% fair chance of getting the answer correct, right? Let's get started. So what is the context of this video lesson? You might want to ask, hey Ritik, why do I have to learn this? The reason is simple. Reading intensive sections जो है ना, they form the lion's share of the paper. If we talk about logical reasoning, English and legal reasoning, there are 100 questions which form 2/3 of the paper, right? In this video we would be talking about the use of BANE options that you can easily use in reading comprehension section or the English section and your logical reasoning section. By logical reasoning I mean critical reasoning, and for your information, critical reasoning forms the lion's share of logical reasoning section of the paper. Expect over 25 questions out of 30 based on critical reasoning only. And the thing is, people don't use options too often. I mean, they don't use this strategy of BANE options that I'm going to talk about in this video too often to their advantage. Matlab, if the question is on inference and or main idea, they simply try and identify कि कौन सा main idea होगा without even looking at the option. But that is not the correct way. You have to have a good strategy to use options to your advantage, varna you would be seeing a lot of negative markings in your paper. Okay, so that is the reason. And let's see some practical examples in this video on how do we use options to our advantage. Okay, in this slide we would be looking at the impact that a BANE option can generate. For your information, these pie charts, as you can see, are actually based on the responses of the students who took the semi-mock test number 1 in January. Okay, January 2nd week. This question number was 45. So I conducted semi-mock test number 1. 45, 48, 8 and 5. ये question number मैंने लिया है for to explain the impact of BANE options. In this question, the correct answer was this option. ठीक है, इतना समझो कि orange is for A, red is for B, blue is for C and D के लिए green है. The correct option was C. This was one of the BANE option choices. If you are thinking what are BANE option choices, please hold on. I will tell you exactly what are they. For this question, 43%, 47% and less than 10% in A and B and C, right? I'm not very sure, but I think this was the correct option. Okay, this was one of the BANE options. For this, the correct answer was 25% wala. Essentially, this means कि 25% got this question correct, 38% इसमें correct हुआ, 43% इसमें correct हुआ, and 19% इसमें correct हुआ था. Okay, 61% of you were trapped in a BANE option. And I'm talking about responses, close to 60-65 responses I got for each of these questions, and उसके basis पे मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. Till now I've never seen, ये देखो 48 responses वाला था. Options have been, the composition of options is so even, right? Almost 1/4 of you got correct. This was like option D. 1/4 marked A, 1/4 marked B, and 1/4 marked C. This is the kind of impact a BANE option can create. Okay, what are they basically? BANE stands for, it's an acronym for broad, alien, narrow and extreme options. Broad matlab, let me give you a clear example उसे सब समझ में आ जाएगा. Let's say the author's opinion is Salman Khan is the best actor in the world. Okay, in India. Okay, this is the opinion of the author that Salman Khan is the best actor in India. You know what? So BANE options are basically used to create wrong answer choices. If I was a question setter, I would have asked, what can you infer from this statement one option would be something very similar or something exactly same as Salman Khan is the best actor in the world. This option would have been correct. I have to make 3 other options, right? So क्या मैं बना सकता था? I would have made something that is broad relative to the opinion of the author. Broader relative to the opinion of the author. Let's say I would have made Salman Khan is the best actor of the world, right? Or Salman Khan is the best artist of the world. This would be a good option, right? Actor is an artist, है ना? So this I would have used a concept of broad option. Alien के लिए I would have said कि Salman Khan is the best actor of Pakistan or neighbors of India. Salman Khan is the best actor in the neighboring countries of India. This would also be incorrect. And मैंने क्या यूज़ किया यहाँ पे? Alien. नैरो बोलना होता तो सोचो क्या बोलता मैं? I would have said कि Salman Khan is the best actor of Mumbai. I think he's from Punjab, right? या हरियाणा या दिल्ली. I'm not very sure. So let's say कि Salman Khan is the best actor of Mumbai. Okay? So that would have been a narrow option. It is not necessarily incorrect because narrow options, अगर मैं Salman Khan, if in this question specifically, because if I say Salman Khan is the best actor in India, he has to be the best actor in Mumbai, right? Because Mumbai is in India. And also learning over here is कि learning a thing that came to mind right now is कि मुंबई जो है वो इंडिया में है. We are assuming this, but ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है कि ऑथर या क्वेश्चन सेटर भी, क्वेश्चन सेटर भी यही assume करे. You might also get incorrect for saying this, right? Okay. अगर ऑप्शन नहीं बोल रहा है कि मुंबई इज इन इंडिया, देन दिस ऑप्शन माइट ऑल्सो बी इनकरेक्ट. एंड ए इज फॉर, लेट्स से आई हैव टू मेक 4 ऑप्शन चॉइसेस, 4 रॉन्ग ऑप्शन चॉइसेस. आई वुड हैव सेड कि सलमान खान इज द बेस्ट एक्टर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड और सलमान खान इज अनबीटेबल इन द एक्टिंग इंडस्ट्री, राइट? ये होते हैं बेन ऑप्शंस. लेट्स सी द प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम्पल्स कैसे क्वेश्चन सेटर्स यूज करते हैं, ठीक है? एंड इसी यू हैव टू बेसिकली स्पॉट द इंडिकेटर वर्ड्स फॉर ईच ऑफ द ऑप्शन टाइप्स, ओके? एंड उससे आपका काम काफ़ी आसान हो जाएगा. दिस वॉज वन ऑफ द पैसेजेस दैट केम इन दी सेमी मॉक नंबर 1. इफ यू आर वंडरिंग व्हाट इट इज, तो सेमी मॉक टेस्ट is a composition of reading comprehension and logical reasoning questions, and it is available under standard 101 program that we offer. You can check in the description box for details. Let's see what this question is saying. Prime Minister says, even though India was an agrarian economy, I would want you to read it. Okay? It imported 65,000 to 75,000 crore worth edible oils. We can stop this, but we need policies to make this happen. This money can go to the farmers. There are many products that farmers can grow for the nation as well as for exports. For this, it is important that all states need to plan their agroclimatic regional policy strategy and help farmers as per that. Even during Corona, agricultural exports have increased, but the prospects are a lot more. For your information, the correct answer over here was option number C. ठीक है? We would come to it, but let's see कि wrong answer choices क्या है, because 4 में से एक ही correct होता है, and we would do better if we focus on the wrong answer choices or identify the wrong answer choices and eliminate them, ठीक है? जिससे हमें सही आंसर पता चले. Agricultural produce ACs and exports have agricultural produce and exports from Indian farmers have reached a plateau. Now, if we say this, note that we are in a sort of some way we are narrowing down the author's opinion, because author, what he has said, agricultural exports have increased, but the prospects are a lot more. The author is claiming this, कि the prospects are a lot more and the agricultural exports have in fact increased, right? लेकिन ये ऑप्शन क्या बोल रहा है कि agricultural produce and exports have reached a plateau. Plateau समझते हो ना? Plateau is something like on a hilly area, a plain region on some elevated area, ठीक है? मतलब एक ग्राफ बनाऊंगा तो ऐसा बनेगा कि ऐसे चला फिर ऐसा, ये x और ये y axis. Okay, this is called a plateau, and certainly the agricultural produce in India has not reached a plateau. The prospects are high. The author believes so. That is why A is incorrect. ठीक है? B is incorrect for the reason that यहाँ पे देखना, यहाँ पे obligation लिखा हुआ है कि agroclimatic regional policy strategy is an obligation to help farmers, whereas in the author's opinion, this is important. We are comparing important with obligation over here. Okay, now if you compare important and obligation, understand कि if something is important, it is not necessary कि it is necessary. Are you understanding? अगर मैं आपको बोलूँ कि क्लैट को अच्छे से फोड़ने के लिए करंट अफेयर्स इज इंपॉर्टेंट, ओके, डज इट मीन कि करंट अफेयर्स इज नेसेसरी फॉर यू टू, और स्टडिंग करंट अफेयर्स इज नेसेसरी फॉर यू टू क्रैक क्लैट और एक्सेल इन क्लैट? नो, राइट? वाई इज इट सो? बिकॉज आप क्लैट को अलग तरीके से भी कर सकते हो, फोड़ सकते हो. इन अ वे, अगर मैं बहुत सिंप्लीफाई करूँ CLAT को, तो the end goal of you is to mark the correct option, and that can be done even without studying the current affair section, right? As far as current affair section is concerned, I hope you are getting. There, basically, I'm trying to make a point. There is a difference between important and obligation. If something is important, yeah, it is important, but it is not an obligation. Necessary नहीं है वो, right? That is why this is. So this was what? This was narrow, and this was, I would say, an extreme version of the author's opinion, and D was an alien version of author's opinion, because it is talking about some technology जो कि पूरे passage में या पूरे अपने author opinion देते हुए he has not talked about this at all. ठीक है? So this is how, you know, the क्या option है? The states should make use of technology. यहाँ पे technology दिया ही नहीं हुआ. So we are using alien information, irrelevant information. Okay, so that is how BANE N, E and A. Broad नहीं आया, but N, E and A, because 4 में से 3 ही आ पाएंगे ना एक ऑप्शन में, एक तो सही बनाना पड़ेगा. Okay, let's look at this question. Based on the passage above, which of the following is the author most likely to agree with? ये रहा question, ये रहे options, and what I would do is कि leave a screenshot of the passage right now on your screen. Pause करो और पढ़ दो एक बार. Okay, I hope पढ़ लिया होगा तुमने. And एक plain reading से ये समझ में आता है कि this passage was about 2 calamities, okay, और 2 disruptions in political scenario of 2 different eras. एक था 4th century का, एक था 17th century का. Okay, one was about the Prophet Muhammad and one was about the Middle Eastern political order. Okay, options क्या हैं देखते हैं अपन. A says the calamity during the collapse of Middle Eastern order was more stark than the one in the 4th century. But यहाँ पे देखना तुम पैसेज को पढ़ने के बाद, I hope you have already understood कि there was no comparison made between the calamity during the collapse of Middle Eastern political order and that of the 4th century. Okay, कोई यहाँ पे comparison नहीं था, and that is why option A is incorrect. This option is alien information, right? Because we are using some information that has not been given in the passage. B says the credit for the rise of Constantine goes to people other than Constantine as well. Well, this can be inferred. There was one sentence जहाँ पे लिखा है कि Constantine used the advices of some Christian advisors. Okay, so that is why this can be inferred. However, if you see B option सिर्फ 12% लोगों ने मार्क किया है, and C एक BANE option था, and see how many people have been trapped over there. Option C मार्क किया है 30% लोगों ने, and option B and C मार्क किया है 47% लोगों ने, which essentially means 75% of the students have been taken down or have been trapped in this option due to one BANE option. Okay, that is the impact that it creates. You have to understand this. A loss of faith, it says, in the dominant institutions of the time almost always leads to disruptions. Passage में दिया था कि generally it leads to disruptions. If you want to argue कि I am nitpicking the options, बस मैं थोड़े details को लेकर option बना रहा हूँ, that is not true. जो pattern रहा है paper का, and essentially we use the question setters use the BANE options only to create traps for the students. Okay, at the end your enemy is not the author, your enemy is the question setter. Okay, mock test के समय. उसके अलावा I'm not your enemy, don't think it like that. या फिर कोई और भी question setter. Generally बोला गया था, और यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहा है? Almost always. When we say almost always, या when we say generally, it means 70-75% of the chances, and almost always is upwards of 95%. That is why it is incorrect. Okay, I hope you are getting what I am trying to say. Let's look at one other example from CLAT 2021 itself. For being with me till this time, I would want you to talk about an important piece of advice that I can give to you for improving logical reasoning in English section. See, one key area where students of this section or students in this section face problem is they are not able to solve passages from some particular genre. There are a lot of genre. Let me write it down. These are the types of genre जहाँ पे CLAT में पूछा जा चुका है. History based passage, science based passage, social science, pol science, contemporary events, यानी your editorials of the newspapers. Out of 6 passages in critical reasoning, expect 3 or 4 to be from some newspaper. Psychology based passages are there, and short stories are also there in reading comprehension section. What you should be doing is identify the genre in which you are facing problem, and how would you do that? If you ask me, the answer is through mock analysis. And अगर mock analysis में कोई doubt है या फिर किस तरह से mock analysis करना है ये आपको पता नहीं है ठीक से, then do one thing, just watch this video that has been linked over here, okay, somewhere around upwards, ठीक है, ऊपर में, and watch this video. I have given a clear-cut 4-step strategy on how you should be analyzing your mocks. ठीक है? Now, यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट सोर्सेज टू रीड फ्रॉम, ठीक है। जिस भी तरह के पैसेज में आपको दिक्कत आ रही है, यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट सोर्सेज टू रीड फ्रॉम, और सेलेक्ट सोर्सेज जहाँ पे उस तरह के पैसेज आते हैं, ओके, एंड रीड ऑन देम फॉर 3 to 4 hours एवरी वीक. This would certainly in a span of 2 weeks I can almost guarantee कि आपकी ये जो कॉम्प्रीहेंड करने की प्रॉब्लम है उस पर्टिकुलर जॉनर में, कोई भी जॉनर में, या फिर इसके अलावा भी अगर कोई जॉनर है तो उसमें भी it would definitely help. Okay, let's move ahead. And yes, if you are liking this video, please press the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, let's move ahead. This is the third example that I can give from CLAT 2021. The question, again, I would give the screenshot of the passage over your screen right now. You can read and we would proceed. I hope you have already read it. Question number 115 था, which of the following can be inferred from the above passage? Inference based. BANE options जो है ना, inference based, main idea, specific detail में सबसे ज़्यादा यूज होते हैं. ये inference based क्वेश्चन है. A says there is no nexus between cooperative existence and economic growth of a nation. Whereas in the author's passage, जो passage है author का, there has been a clear establishment of some relationship between cooperative existence and economic growth of a nation. It is talking about India and how India could grow its economy through the use of cooperative existence. ठीक है? So this is completely in contrast, and I would give it an A. Okay, so alien based information or alien information है. B says कि unless India's region becomes more self-centered, India is unlikely to develop into a more than a regional power. This is again an alien option. ठीक है? This is again an alien option because ये जो सेल्फ सेंटर रहने की बात की जा रही है ना, the author has given an opinion completely in contrast to this. कि हमें सेल्फ सेंटर करने की जरूरत नहीं है. We have to expand ourselves. C is also a very similar option over here. India can only become a great power if it works in isolation to achieve the desired goals. Look, this video was not only about BANE options. If you see, these three options, don't they look very, very similar? There is no nexus between cooperative existence and economic growth. Okay? So what this option is claiming is that we do not have to work cooperatively. B says, unless India's region becomes more self-centered, again, we do not have to become more cooperative in nature. C says, India can only become a great power if it works in isolation. Again, we do not have to work, or India does not have to work cooperatively. These are the three options. बहुत similar हैं, okay? And that is why all of them are incorrect. If you can infer C, you have to infer B as well. And D is, if you see, in complete contrast to what these three options are saying. And it is, in fact, the correct option. India cannot aspire to be a great power without the cooperation of neighbors. Also, learning over here is, let's talk about this in the things to keep in mind page or things to keep in mind slide. BANE options are relative. Okay. The author can sometimes have a BANE opinion as well. What I mean to say is, आपने यहाँ देखा, India cannot aspire. It's an absolute statement. Cannot मतलब absolutely. Am I correct? लेकिन यहाँ पे देखना कि this opinion of the author has been given in the passage. So we cannot say that this is an extreme opinion of the extremized version of the opinion of the author. We cannot say that. Okay. BANE options are relative. अगर author का opinion, if it is broad, if it is very narrow, or if it is very extreme, और वैसा option अगर question में आ गया, okay, then we have to choose that option as itself. Okay, we cannot just eliminate it only for being a very absolute choice. और सिर्फ अगर not use हुआ है, only use हुआ है, always use हुआ है. These are one of the indicator words of BANE options. Okay. However, अगर ऑथर का ओपिनियन खुद ही अगर एक्सट्रीम है, बहुत ब्रॉड है या बहुत नैरो है, देन हमें उसी तरह के ऑप्शन कुछ सेलेक्ट करना है. एंड ऑल्सो BANE ऑप्शंस आर नॉट फाउंड इन सम क्वेश्चन टाइप्स, और BANE ऑप्शंस कैन नॉट बी यूज्ड इन सम क्वेश्चन टाइप्स. लाइक टोन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन में कैसे यूज करोगे, ग्रामर में कैसे यूज करोगे, वोकैबुलरी में कैसे यूज करोगे. ओके, सो यू हैव टू कीप दिस इन माइंड एज वेल एंड लुक आउट फॉर ऑड ऑप्शंस एज वेल. व्हाट आई मीन टू से इज, इफ सम ऑप्शन इज टू लॉन्ग, ओके, या फिर सम ऑप्शन इज टू शॉर्ट. CLAT 2020 में बहुत देखा गया था. CLAT 2021 में उतना नहीं. However, if some option is too long या फिर too short, मतलब it is an indication or one of the indications कि this is the correct option. ठीक है, बहुत ही minute सी बात मैं यहाँ पे कह रहा हूँ. But sometimes अगर तुम्हें एक दो क्वेश्चन मुझे एकदम पक्का तुक्का ही मारना है, so look out for odd options that the possibility of them getting correct is very high. ठीक है. Look out for indicator words. As I said, always कोई भी indicator word हुआ ना, ऑलवेज हो गया, ऑल एवरी टाइम हो गया, ईच टाइम हो गया, कोई भी एब्सोल्यूट स्टेटमेंट अगर आए इन्फ्रेंस बेस्ड क्वेश्चन में या मेन आइडिया बेस्ड क्वेश्चन में, तो काफ़ी समय वो इनकरेक्ट होता है. कैसे सही होते हैं पता है? शुड, समटाइम्स, ये सब वर्ड है ना अगर ऑप्शन में, तो कई बार ये सही होते हैं. ओके, should is not an absolute statement. Should cannot be, in most cases should cannot be used, the word should cannot be used in absolute statements. या फिर sometimes तो sometimes ही होता है, always नहीं होता है, so it is not absolute at all. Okay, so this was pretty much what you should be doing to use options to your advantage. I hope it would make a hell lot of a difference to your mock scores from now on. Okay, please watch this video again if you want. Okay, but एक notes बना लो चाहे तो. Okay, लेकिन इसे आप ज़रूर अप्लाई करना स्ट्रैटेजी एज अ स्ट्रैटेजी इन योर मॉक्स. आई एम श्योर देर वुड बी, यू वुड सी अ ह्यूज इंप्रूवमेंट. एंड इफ यू वांट टू नो कि हाउ डू यू एनालाइज मॉक्स फॉर द टिप दैट आई गेव इन बिटवीन, you can watch our video for that. Okay, thank you. Feel free to use the comment section if you have any questions. And अगर आपको इस पे वीडियो चाहिए, if you want the video on सोर्सेस का, मतलब हिस्ट्री में कौन सा सोर्स से पढ़ सकते हैं, साइंस बेस्ड पैसेज में कौन से सोर्स से पढ़ सकते हैं, लेट मी नो, और express it by liking the video. I would certainly make a video on this. Thank you. I would take your leave. All the best. Take care and goodbye.